If it's always under promise, always over deliver, what you've done is you've created an expectation of over delivery. But if the expectation is that you're always going to over delivery, it's just delivery. And they start to feel like maybe it's overwhelming. You can over deliver to death and you can actually kill your business.
Welcome to the Marketing Boost Solutions Podcast. Join host Marco Torres, co-founder of MarketingBoost.com, along with expert guests as they deliver incredible, proven solutions to your marketing challenges in each power-packed episode. Get ready to be blown away with game-changing lessons for your business.
Folks, I am excited to welcome today's guest. He's an expert at teaching entrepreneurs how to obsess over their customers. Success combining the art of storytelling with the science of human behavior to create unforgettable experiences. Jason Friedman, a former theater enthusiast who's now a serial entrepreneur and a coach dedicated to helping entrepreneurs and small business owners grow and scale their businesses. With a flair for the dramatic and a master of storytelling, Jason has founded and exited 5 successful companies. Now he's a CEO of CXFormula. He teaches business owners how to captivate their audience using his proprietary Kinetic Customer Formula. He also is the helm of the Spotlight Brand Services, guiding e-commerce brands to huge successes on Amazon and beyond. Join us now as we dive into the insights of a leader whose strategies have earned him the accolades of Ernst & Young's Entrepreneur of the Year and propelled multiple companies to the top of 5,000 Inc. list. So hello, Jason. Welcome to the show.
What's going on, Marco? Excited to be here, buddy. Thanks for having me on the show.
No, you kidding? My pleasure. For those of you listening to the Marketing Boost Solutions show, this is your first time here. We strive in bringing on folks that are generating 6, 7, 8-figure successes in their past, and Jason certainly lives up to that. Jason, tell us how you got here. Tell us a little bit about that story where you say you were a theater enthusiast. Tell us about that and how you ended up in this world today, where you're doing now.
Yeah, thanks for the question. I started at summer camp, and the short version of the story is like a good friend of mine wanted to audition to be in the show, and he needed some moral support. So he dragged me down to the Playhouse, and I was just sitting in the audience waiting for Billy, and I saw this guy building a set at the back. And every so often he'd like run over and like he'd change some stuff, and the lights would change, and then like you'd hear like some feedback from the mics, and he'd adjust the mics. And I was just like captivated by like all the behind the scenes things that were happening to support that. And so Billy got in the show and I joined the stage crew. We're about 8 or 9 years old at this point. And I got the bug, and I was just like a lighting, set, audio, video nerd for my entire youth. I went on to do that in school. So I went to school and I was a lighting designer was my major. And I had a double major in business and a minor in psychology. And then when I got out, I was a roadie for a bunch of rock and roll shows doing lighting again. So I did Fleetwood Mac, Peter Gabriel, and Rush. And then went on to some more legit theater. And I did Fiddler on the Roof, Jesus Christ Superstar, Man of La Mancha. And, it's weird. Like, I remember sitting there one day and I was like, you know what? This is wild. We're in a different city every night with a different audience. When we load in the show, we have a different crew helping us set it up. And the audience laughs at the exact same spot every single night. The audience claps at the exact same spot every single night. The audience jumps to their feet in crazy applause at the exact same spot every night. And then I started thinking back to like the pre-production, the meetings with the director and the stage managers and the producers. And it was designed to do that. And I was like, like, I wonder if you could do that in a business where like you could actually create this journey that people go on and get these responses and these reactions and the transformation that these people were having. Could you do it on by design? Could you do it on command, if you will, in a way that's authentically like helping them have that transformation? And what I found was like, heck yes, you can. And so I started my career like from theater. It's like we apply all sorts of theatrical techniques and ideas and storytelling ways to businesses. And so it doesn't matter if you're a Fortune 100 or you're a mom and pop. It doesn't matter if you're online, you're offline. If you have employees and customers, I have a system that it's like it becomes part of the DNA of your organization. And it's kind of an operating system that delivers amazing results on demand and consistently. And so that's what it is. And it was a Mr. Miyagi, like you're learning to wax on, wax off, paint the fence. And then someday you wake up and you're like, holy crap, I kind of learned something here. Like this is, and man, like I didn't even know I learned it. It took other people pointing out saying, hey, like when you do that, that's cool. And I'm like, I didn't even recognize what we were doing. And we were literally transforming businesses. We were helping like Stanford and Harvard and Yale and Duke and all these major universities raise more monies with their donors, because instead of running events that would help them just to donate money to the next building, we help them tell a story about the cause that these people are joining to help create better lives, cure cancer, solve Alzheimer's, like whatever it happens to be. And it was just an amazing thing. And it all comes from that one day that my friend Billy asked me to come sit in the audience when he was afraid to try out for the show.
That is a cool story. As you say, the storytelling, and it reminds me, before we hit the record button, we talked about some of our similarities, and I didn't realize that I've never really shared this with anybody either on the show. But my background, one of my first jobs at 16, I was a roadie. A friend of mine from church owned the sound company in Puerto Rico. And so when all the rock concerts came to Puerto Rico, they'd hire him. He had the truckloads of the speakers and the sound systems and the big, massive board in the middle of the theater. So I got to wear the staff T-shirts for the rock concerts, everything from
backstage
Pink Floyd and the backstage passes. It was the coolest job in the world.
Amen, dude. It's right. It's a whole different thing. And like, just remember like the audience, right? So like, think about this. Anytime you go into a concert or theater, it's like you get excited hours before. You start listening to the music before you even get there to get in the mood. And then you're tailgating outside. And then you come in and you're like so hopped up waiting for the experience to begin. Then when it does, every ounce of your attention is on the stage. Like all the bad stuff that was going on in your life a couple hours earlier, you forgot about it.
Yeah.
You're there, you're present. And so we have the power to do that with our customers. All of us have the power to do that.
No doubt. And I went on and, kind of give you the similar story, right? I went on in high school to have the role of Yul Brynner in The King and I with a musical and the West Side Story. And I never realized, like you say, you tie in that theater to business. I know that I've always told my salespeople, you're on stage when you take that call. It's like you're an actor on stage, the curtains opened, and now it's time to deliver your lines in a way that would get either a nothing at the end or a standing ovation. And the standing ovation is what you pulled the credit card. So
exactly.
So we've been on a similar page.
Synergy, man. I can tell when we first started talking. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Our businesses are very aligned. I'm excited to talk about that.
You bet. So tell me more about what you turned that concept into what you call and trademark the Kinetic. Fill me in on that again. The Kinetic Formula.
Yeah, the Kinetic Customer Formula. So, like here's a realistic observation that I've made over the last 30 years. As business owners, as entrepreneurs, we actually make it hard for our customers to do business with us. We put in all these obstacles, all these roadblocks, and a lot of the times it's with the best of intention. We really want to make it better for them. And so we make these complex processes and systems, and we email them like onboarding 4 million things that they need to know so that they have all the information at their fingertips. And what we're doing is we're creating friction. We're creating their desire. We're lowering it. We're not making it easy. We're not making it fluid. And so we have all these prospects with potential, like energy that could do work, right? Potential energy is the ability to do work, but it's not in motion. And kinetic energy is energy that's in motion, right? And so what I want to help businesses do, what we help businesses do, is to really look at that customer journey through the eyes of the customer. And we start to go through, what does it look like to do business with us, step by step, touch point by touch point, moment by moment. And we look at it on a range of different variables for each moment. And as we start to do that, we start looking at the parts that make it harder. Where are we making it difficult? And we start to analyze and find those friction points and we try and remove them. So again, I'll talk a little bit more about the formula in a minute, but at the end of the day, what I want your customers to do, the ideal result, we call it the I4, the R4, the ideal result for, it's they rave about their experience with you. They return to buy more products and services from you. They renew their memberships and subscriptions with you, and they recruit. They actively go out and get more people to come work with you because they loved and the results that they got. And so we focus very much on what does that look like? How does that work for each customer's business that works with us? And they learn so much because, like, take a weight loss company, right? We work with a weight loss company. They came to us and like, oh, the ideal result is they lose 20 pounds. I'm like, okay, is that really the ideal result? Like, they could lose 20 pounds by doing a lot of things, right? But what they're really doing is they're falling in love with themselves again. They're getting their life back. They're going into their closet and they're feeling confident because there's all sorts of options for clothes that fit them. They're going out with people and having dinner and doing things with friends, but they wouldn't before because they didn't feel good in their own skin. The ideal result for them is that they get their life back in a way. And we're not telling those stories, and we're not showing people how to get to those journeys because we're not focusing on the right things. We spend all of our time as small businesses, as entrepreneurs, trying to fill the funnel, trying to get more clients in, but we have a hole in our bucket and they're leaking out faster than we can even fill that bucket. And so they're refunding, they're returning, they're not following through, they're ghosting us basically. And so we help people make it better ultimately through the entire journey. And we use theater to do that. And so our Kinetic Customer Formula is all about the science, the art and the science, if you will, of crafting that, what we call a kinetic pathway. Your customer journey is what you have now. Once we fix it, it becomes a kinetic pathway, which is this fluid movement through your business so that they end up becoming a raving recruiting fan.
Powerful formula. And we have many members who do some similar activities by adding the Marketing Boost incentives to their mix. So let's take a break to hear from our sponsor, Marketing Boost, and we'll be right back. Don't go away. We'll be right back with Jason with more.
It's time to wow, surprise, and impress your clients with the most powerful customer draw card available anywhere. The Marketing Boost Solutions Show is brought to you by Marketing Boost, where you can get valuable travel and restaurant incentives to drive your leads from prospects to paying customers. Now you can offer complimentary hotel stays in over 130 destinations worldwide. Go to marketingboostsolutions.com and try it for free right now.
Welcome back to the Marketing Boost Solutions podcast. We're talking to Jason on how to wow your clients with theatrics on generating that wow surprise factor where consumers are dying to hear the rest of the story and be evangelists for your brand, which, by the way, you just heard from our sponsor, Marketing Boost, using incentives, the power of complimentary hotel stays in 130 destinations around the world, restaurant savings vouchers, hotel savings cards. They too can be added to your mix to get folks to take certain actions and fall in love with your brand. Jason and I are going to talk more about that so he can introduce that to his clients later on. But folks, let's take it back to Jason on more. Jason, give us some more wisdom on ideas, whether we hired you or not. What would be some of the things that mistakes business owners make by not, focusing on the customer journey?
Yeah, I think the first one is really not truly understanding our customer. Like we talk about our customer as like an avatar or a persona, but one of the things that we help people do, again, using my theater trick here, is like, imagine that you're Matthew McConaughey and you're going to be playing this character on film, on stage. To get into that character, it's not just knowing how old they are and where they live and if they're married. It's getting inside their head. It's understanding how they move, what they had for breakfast, all the things. Like, how do I really understand what's going on in that person's life? So we help our people go deep. We have a few different exercises we do to get them to really understand their customers on such a deep level that they can actually portray them on stage. Once they're in character, then we have them start going through the journey so they can really see it through that lens, because we are always looking at it from our perspective of the business, not from the customer. So I think one of the most important things is to really go deeper on who your customers are, understand their needs, their wants, their desires, and also where they've been, where they've come from. They may have tried something similar to what you're offering. They may have failed 1,000,000 times. Where are they coming in? What baggage are they coming in with? What cognitive biases do they have that they're trying to, it's, the brain's trying to make work easier, not burn so many calories. So we use different cognitive biases that is a shortcut for us to make decisions. And it's based on the past. It's based on things that may or may not be true now or in your circumstance. So once you can get inside their head this way, you can start to change the game dramatically. So that's the first thing that I would say. The second thing, Marco, is setting and managing expectations. Customers, employees, you, me, we all have expectations. And if we as a business, we don't set those expectations, they're going to have one no matter what. So since they already have expectations, you're probably not going to meet them. So if you can set them and manage them, you have a really good shot of being able to meet them. And meeting those expectations really is the name of the game. We'll talk a lot about how to wow and do some over delivery in a second. But if we just do what we say and they're expecting it and they get it, that is the biggest hump to get over. And most businesses are not doing that. And so it's a happy accident when the customer is happy in a lot of cases because they really didn't know what to expect. So they made up their mind about what it should be. And then it's like arbitrarily, is it or isn't it? And then they make a judgment call. And so for all of you out there, make sure that you're setting and managing expectations for your clients. Super important. I think.
It sounds, there's more. Go ahead. I didn't interrupt you. Go.
Yeah, no, you're good. We're dialoguing. I'm on a roll. I'm on a roll. It can't help me. Butter me up.
I was going to ask you, can you give an example of a case study or two that has, started here and after following your formula, saw what kind of changes did they see?
Dude, I'll give you the most basic example that is like no promises, no guarantees, right? I'm not a lawyer. I just play one on TV, right? But like I have a driving school, like a behind the wheel. They teach like, young 16-year-olds how to get their license, right? 6 hours, $400, give or take, whatever. They have in the area where they have 20 other competitors, all in the same area. This guy came to me and we looked at his business, and the number one problem that he had was the initial outreach. They couldn't buy on his website. So we fixed that where they could, but they wanted to talk to someone. They called, they leave a message. Now, what happens when they call and they leave a message? Like, hey, I'm interested in driving, let me know, whatever. Then with one click on Google, you get listings of the 20-something schools that are, they just go to the next one, the next one, the next one, the next one. As soon as someone picks up the phone and schedules them, they're like, done. Forget about all the messages left. I don't care. I want to solve this problem. I need my kid to get the training. They're not even, unfortunately, that discerning about who is providing the training, which is a whole different issue, right? So like, as we looked through the experience and what was happening, he was losing people right in the beginning because he added a friction point. Leaving a voicemail message when I want to talk to somebody is a huge friction point. We removed that. His business doubled in revenue in 3 months. He went from $250,000 a year to $750,000 a year. He tripled in that period of time, or doubled rather. So it went to 500, and then right after that, he went to 750. Right? He ultimately got to 750 in that same year. That was the most impactful thing we did. It literally, he had someone that was coming in and answering, like retrieving the messages 4 hours a day, whatever. We doubled it. He ended up spending a couple $1,000s more and ended up doubling and then ultimately tripling his business in less than a year. It's a huge friction point.
Absolutely. In today's world, you've got to be fast response time, whether it be, adding AI, zappy chats or what have, communications with chat support or instant phone calls or, and again, the customer, the client, like you say, he's not putting himself through that experience. You did that, in probably a few minutes, looking at his system, going, "This is a simple change. It's going to make a huge difference."
It did, and I'll give you another quick one also. But like the crazy thing is, like we added a bunch of other things to his journey. We cleaned it up, we smoothed it out, and he is much larger today, right? And he credits it all to like understanding it this way and putting it through that lens. And the crazier thing is, like, all of his competitors came to us afterwards and were like, "Look, like, we'll help you. You can go through our program, but like, this guy has a leg up." What he started doing, because we cleaned up the whole process, his employees, his instructors love working for him. where everyone else is losing instructors and they can't attract instructors. He's got the best game in town. Like all the people want to work for his school, right? It's crazy. And all of it came from this kind of thing. So just as you start to think about how do you make it better for your customers, what ends up happening is you make it simpler internally too. Your team starts having a better experience and your team starts getting more aligned in how to deliver as well. So it's a really powerful mechanism.
Let me guess that part of your solutions was setting him up with a CRM of some sort that made sure he had email communications automated and follow-up messaging and creating the experience and the sales funnel flow that made a lot more sense than whatever he had before.
I heard a rumor that you might have a sponsor that knows something about this. And I will just say before you drop to that, because I think that's super important, it's yes, communication is everything, right? And it's you got to have a system. Otherwise, if we rely on ourselves to do it, it's not going to happen consistently, right? I said the audience had the same experience night after night because we had a system of delivery, all the rehearsals, all the things we needed on stage to get that reaction. And so you definitely need a CRM with automation.
Speaking of that, let's hear from our sponsor, Automation Booster, and we'll be right back with Jason. Don't go away.
Is your business on autopilot yet? Do you have automation in place to capture, nurture, and convert prospects into clients via email, SMS, ringless voicemails, appointment setting? Get all the inbound and outbound marketing tools in one place. Go to marketingboostsolutions.com for more on automating your business so you can make money while you sleep.
Welcome back to the Marketing Boost Solutions podcast with Jason Friedman, the expert on storytelling and how to get your audience giving you the standing ovation and buying from you on a consistent basis. You just heard from Automation Booster, guys. If you don't have a system that helps you capture your leads, putting them into your email automation systems, your communication flow, email, texting, voicemail broadcasting, all of that automated so it works for you, whether your client landed on your website at midnight or 3 a.m. or 6:30 a.m, they can be getting instant responses to book on your calendar, et cetera, et cetera. So check out automationbooster.com. We're back here with Jason. Jason, give us some more insight on maybe another case study of an example of how clients make these huge mistakes of not understanding their own client flow and how small tweaks can make huge differences.
Yeah, let's talk about another challenge that I see, and then I'll give you a case study on that. So the next one, we talked about setting and managing expectations, right? We talked about removing some frictions. Let's talk about this idea of over delivery, right? So there's this old adage that I think kind of hurts us in business. We've heard it all of our lives. It's under promise and over deliver, right? We've all heard that. So the idea is like, tell them that you're going to only do like this and then go here and they're going to be wowed by the betterment, right? And that's cool. Except if you're always in over delivery. If it's always under promise, always over deliver, what you've done is you've created an expectation of over delivery. And the reason that over delivery works is because if the expectation is here, lower, and the over delivery is higher, there's a difference. There's a wow factor. But if the expectation is that you're always going to over delivery, it's just delivery. It doesn't serve the client. And they start to feel like maybe it's overwhelming. Maybe they're not taking advantage of all the over delivery you're doing. You can over deliver to death and you can actually kill your business. And so what we try and teach people is to look for key moments, right? So customers today are won and lost in micro moments. It's really not about the entire journey. It's key moments of your journey that'll make or break those relationships. So when you start to think about over delivery, you have to make sure, like I said earlier, meeting expectations is key. Most of the time, I want you to meet expectations. Then I want you to find key moments where you can over deliver, where you can go up a little higher. If everything's a 10, 10 has no context. But if there's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then there's a 10, now 10 has more meaning. So we have to find different levels. I think about like composing a symphony, right? If everything was just the same note at the same tempo the entire time, it wouldn't be interesting. It wouldn't be exciting. The excitement comes from varying the tones, varying the tempos, varying the minors and the major chords and things like that. We need variety in our journeys. And that's why I love some of the things that you guys at Marketing Boost are doing, because we can give them some rewards, some recognition. We can wow them with really big wows sometimes. And then we can find some smaller wows, some littler things. Everything doesn't have to break the bank, right? So we can find moments that matter, and we can do big things. We can find moments that matter where a little thing is enough. And so it's really about managing that dynamic range with your customers. And again, I think you guys have an amazing toolkit that will help them do that.
Well, that is powerful, and I've really never heard anybody break it down like that. And all the experts I've had on my show, and even in myself, we think the generic, yeah, as you pointed out at the beginning, we think of the generic, yeah, just under promise, over deliver, and you're going to be home run. But you're talking about making it like a piece of music, or like on stage, or like on stage in a theater. There's times in a theater that it's going to be quiet, it's going to be soft. The conversation, you got to listen in hard to hear what's going on the live stage. And then boom, it comes into the loud. Or even in a movie, right? There's parts of the movie that are loud and grab your attention, you fall out of your seat, and others are, and then I guess that's what your customer experience is. Now, how you do that, I guess you got to sign up for Kinetic.
The Kinetic Customer Formula, baby. Yeah. I mean, look, that's a great way to do it. And we'd welcome everybody to come in if you're interested. But without it, think about that journey, right? How do I give them those high notes and the low notes? How do I make it softer and louder? People want an experience, right? People will pay more for an experience. And like, I heard this great quote at one point. I honestly don't know who said it, but it's like, music is just noise with a bunch of rules, right? And like, without the rules, it's just noise, right? And so your journey is the same thing. If they're just going through it and there's no rules, there's no rhythm, there's no reasons and why behind how you're doing some of these things, it's just noise. And it's not going to help people be pulled through your journey. So it's really important. And I think the biggest mistake that I see people make with over delivery is it's too much, and it ends up becoming overwhelming. And so you got to pick your moments. You got to pick the times that are going to matter and do that. And like I was saying, like, it's not always, so I use this analogy in our program called the 1%er, right? So the idea is like, I could give you a dollar bill, and the think of a dollar bill is 100%. I give you that dollar bill, you're like, wow, thanks. That's awesome. I just gave you 100% of my budget, all my wow in one moment. Or I could give you 4 quarters, and that's still 100% wow, but I can give you it spread out. So I give you a little 25% wow this week. Maybe a couple of weeks later, I give you another 25%, so on and so forth. I'm still giving you, using my whole wow budget on you, but I'm spreading it out so I have more moments, and you're going to remember those more moments better, right? I could do 10 dimes, I could do 20 nickels, I could do 100 pennies, right? And so I can get to 100% a lot of different ways. If you do it the way I just said, though, you create the expectation because they know it's going to be 10 dimes, and it's going to happen this frequency. So what I like to do is break it up. A couple quarters, a couple nickels, a couple dimes, bunch of pennies, whatever. And I mix it up I spend my budget of, experience. If I'm going to have a budget for it, I spread it out so I don't create expectation, and I'm creating more touch points that move people. And they're all different levels of wow. So think about that. I call that the 1%er. Think about that. What can I do? Because 1% is awesome. And everything doesn't have to be 100%, right?
Yeah, no kidding. I know I'm guilty of that with my own company, Marketing Boost. I mean, we over deliver, at least we think we do. We only charge $37 a month to the membership to Marketing Boost, and you get access to all of our incentives, and we give you all kinds of stuff and all kinds of creative and all kinds of training. And we're probably not creating that flow of when we deliver the next available training courses, and when we do the following. So we kind of overwhelm people up front, and then they never get around to, may possibly never get around to even experiencing it all because it just seems like too much.
Right. And so the way we like to help people with that phenomenon, right? And I'm happy to help you guys as well, because what you guys do is so amazing. It's just, and that's the thing, like, we all think we're helping, but if it's too much, people might never get to all the amazing, right? And it's true of all of us, right? I'm not singling you out, every one of us has this issue in our business to some extent. I have it a little less because this is what I teach and I work really hard. But when I create something new, my de facto is give them everything, like make it amazing. And it's like, whoa, the reason that people buy Cliff's Notes is because they don't want to read the whole book. They want the little thing, and they're paying more for the Cliff's Notes than the books. right? So people pay you to filter it, to make it easier for them, and they'll pay more for better filtration. They'll pay more for better organization that moves them through that the way they need it. So again, back to avatar, back to understanding your customers. All of us have different avatars in our business. And so in your business, you have people that have different needs. Maybe there's a journey that they can go in. They have access to everything, but they answer a couple questions in the beginning, and it organizes the information into a flow that helps them right now. Right?
We're actually working on exactly that.
I love that.
Yeah, we've hired a team, and we're going to focus on problems and solutions. And rather than just giving you everything and good luck, figure it out, we're going to say, okay, if this is your problem, here's the 7 steps to solve the problem of lead generation, the problem of closing more sales, the problem of creating more loyalty, the problem of soliciting referrals, and so we will have the here's the problem and here's the solution. And we currently don't do that. We just give you, like, hey, good luck, man. If you're a marketer, you should know how to figure it out.
It's all in there. Go get it. Go get it. Yeah, totally. That's
we give you, here's all the stuff. And if you're, if you got the time to figure it out, or and so, not everybody does figure it out because they don't spend the time, but we're working on exactly that as we speak, coming out within the next few weeks. So let me ask you this question. How does a startup company, get started using the Kinetic Customer Formula, in the earliest stages, during when they're first getting started? What would you recommend? I mean, obviously hiring you but I mean, even with, like you say, with hire you or not, what are some of the basics that a startup could be doing to kind of make sure they're going down this right path?
Yeah, that's a great question. So hire us, but if not, the reality is this, like the best way, like in theater, right? We don't start with a bunch of actors on stage and start with sets and scene change, whatever. We start with a script, right? We have a script first. And so I want you to do the same thing in your business. I want you to start at the end. I want you to write what we call the ideal customer script. So listen very carefully what this is, because this is a game changer for your business. This is your customer just finished your thing, whatever that is, your course, your service, your yoga class, your whatever it is. They just did it, your driving lessons, right? And they're going to go tell somebody about their journey, not just the result, but the journey. It's like, I wanted to lose 20 pounds and I've struggled for the last 10 years of my life. I've tried this diet plan and this and this and this. I've tried supplements. I've tried exercise. Everything I try, I fail at. And I just almost couldn't bring myself to it. But I listened to Marco. He did this presentation, and the way he shared it, like, it made so much more sense to me. His approach was revolutionary and evolutionary. And I had to try it. So I signed up for his program. Now, the first part of this program, he got me clear on my goals and my why and what was really going to be different, because it wasn't about just the 20 pounds for me. It was about changing my life. And he helped me get a roadmap to what that looks like. And then we started going through planning the program. And literally week by week, session by session, his team was there to support me, to cheer me on, to celebrate every little win that I made. I was so motivated, like I've never seen before. Like I was excited to go to the calls, to the coaching. I showed up for that. I forgot to pick my kid up from school one day because I had to be on the call. Like, yeah, I'm a bad mother, but now I'm a happier mother. Like I fit in my clothes. I feel good in my skin. I go out with my friends. My life has never been better. If you have been struggling and tried everything and feel like there's nowhere else, you have to go to Marco's course, right? Write that for your business. Write that for your business. Get into that customer's head, and you'll have 10 customers, write 10 of them based on their situation for your business. That's a testimonial, not I lost 20 pounds and Marco's team was great. That's not a testimonial. That's bullshit. Excuse my language, right?
Right.
Tell me about the journey. Tell me about the ups and downs. Tell me about your insecurity. Tell me about why it worked. Tell me about the little things that made it feel good. Tell me about what boosted your momentum. Tell me about how they made it easier and how it was different from anything else. And then once you write those, then I want you to go back as that customer, and I want you to walk through your journey. What aligns with that? What do you need to do differently so that they say that? And when you do, you will have the actors that show up, bring the script to life, and the audience has that transformation at the end. It will happen. It's not a maybe, it's a will. It will happen, right? And we've got a lot of ways to go through this. Like I said, like do this, you'll be better off than you've ever been in your life. Your business will start to grow. When you're ready to scale, like I said, the KCF, Kinetic Customer Formula, is an operating system, and it's a culture team building system. It's a marketing system. It's a delivery system. It's a fulfillment system. It just changes the DNA of your organization, and it's super powerful. So I'd love to have you when you're ready. And if you're not, just do this, because it will change your business and it will change your life and it will change your employees' lives.
So I'm sharing your LinkedIn page. Folks, you can find Jason Friedman on LinkedIn here. And tell us about the special offer that you've got for our audience.
Yeah. Thanks, Marco. I'm excited. So I put together a PDF for you guys. It's specific. Just if you go to my website, CXFormula.com, go there. It's cool, whatever. But you're not going to find this. So you have to go to gift.marketing boost.
Marketing boost.
Yep. So gift.cxformula.com/marketing boost. And I'm not going to tell you what it is, right? I'm going to like tease you a little bit, right? Like this is one of my most coveted, most used, most effective strategies to change the way you're thinking about your customers and your business with actionable steps. It will take you 10 whole minutes to go through the PDF, no more. If you spend a few minutes after that, like thinking about how to implement them, it will transform something in your business, something in your life. You can apply this to anything. So I just ask 2 favors. Favor 1, if you download it, which I hope you do, actually open it. Don't let it be one of those things that sits in the download bin in your folder or your computer and don't look at it. We really want it to help people. That's why it's free. There's no strings attached. You don't have to work with me, just, whatever. But my second favor is I would love if you do something with it. If it helps you, just shoot me an email, because my email will be there when we deliver it. Let me know what you did with it. I really want to hear how it's helping people. My mission is to help small business owners and entrepreneurs do better. I've had a lot of fortune in my life. I've sold some companies, exited. I'm in a part of my career where it's not about the revenue I make, it's about the impact I make. So for me, my wins are hearing how I've helped people unlock their business, break through the next level of success in their business. And it's entrepreneurs and small business owners like you and me that I most want to help. So hopefully that helps. I'm sure it will if you invest the 10 minutes. And yeah, that's it. That's my pitch. Go check it out.
Cool. Now, those links are in the show notes below, whether you're listening to this on a podcast or watching it on YouTube or Rumble. They're in the show notes, so you can just click below, find the notes, click on the link and get a hold and contact Jason, download that free PDF. So again, go to that link right down below. If you like the content we brought you today, guys, I mean, it's been empowering to me, dramatic ideas there that are huge takeaways. If you like what you heard and you have some takeaways, write some notes, ask some questions in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Love to hear your thoughts on what you thought and takeaway you get from the show or from the PDF download. Share this episode with someone, please. We'd really appreciate that. We thank you for your time listening. Do us a favor, subscribe and share this episode with some other friend or entrepreneur who might benefit from this as well. We'd really appreciate it. Jason, you've been amazing. Thank you for your time and wisdom on our show.
Thanks for having me, buddy. I appreciate it.
No, you bet. Thank you. And folks, thank you for listening. We'll see you on the next episode of the Marketing Boost Solutions podcast. See you soon. Thanks for listening to another episode of Marketing Boost Solutions podcast with your hosts, Captain Marco Torres. Now it's on you. Take the next step now. Go to marketingboostsolutions.com for more on how you can wow, delight, and surprise your clients with the most amazing draw card on the planet. So stay thirsty, my friends. Stay thirsty for knowledge. See you next time.